Testing and debugging are critical components of smart contract development. They ensure that your contracts function correctly and efficiently, reducing the risk of bugs and vulnerabilities. In this section, we'll explore common testing techniques, useful debugging tools, practical examples, and best practices. Let's begin by talking about the importance of testing and debugging. Testing and debugging are essential for ensuring the reliability and security of your smart contracts. They help you identify and fix issues early, prevent potential exploits, and maintain the integrity of your DApp. There are several testing techniques that you can use to verify the functionality of your contracts. Number 1, unit tests. These tests focus on individual components of your contract. They are quick to run and help ensure that each part of your contract works as expected. Secondly, integration tests. These tests verify that different parts of your contract work together correctly. They are essential for identifying issues that may arise when components interact. And finally, automated testing. Automated tests run your tests automatically and continuously. They help catch regressions and ensure that new changes do not break existing functionality. Let's look at an example of a unit test using the AVA testing framework, which is commonly used in the Agoric ecosystem. In this example, we test the minting of tokens. We create a new issuer kit, mint a payment, and then check if the payment is live and the amount is correct. This ensures that the minting process works as expected. Debugging tools are essential for identifying and fixing issues in your contracts. Tools like console log are simple yet effective and help you to log information to your console. Debugger statements are helpful for pausing execution, allowing you to inspect the state of your contract. And read eval print loops, an interactive shell that allows you to evaluate JavaScript code in real time, can be very helpful as well. To fully understand the process of debugging in Agoric DApp, let's drop in on a weekly developer office hours session hosted by Agoric engineer Dan Conley.
Debugging on the Agoric platform, especially how to deal with debugging code in endo bundles. So I'll bring up. So one of the first tests in the DApp Agoric basics. Let's check that I'm on the right planet. Contract directory yarn test. And you can pick out a file name. Okay. So this shows that before you can really use your contract, you have to bundle it, collect all the sources into one artifact that Zoe can deal with, and it comes out with a hash. Then if we actually test, so for example, the Postal Service, let's make sure that one's working. All right, so the Postal Service does some stuff. What if it wasn't working out quite right, or we just wanted to understand how it works better? We want to use a debugger, right? Chris Bennett?
That is correct.
Okay. So as we discussed the other day, he's got some of the clues ahead of time. If you just put a breakpoint here, and then you can use the JavaScript debug terminal. Where I'm on the wrong planet here. Where's basics? There we go. Contract, yarn test. So it ran through with ever stopping here. And the issue is that this is not exactly the code that was run. The code that was run was the bundled code. So to get the debugger going, we start with a debugger statement. Before I get to that, you can, however, put breakpoints in your it's not very exciting. Okay, so here's one that's actually doing what the contract does. So you can set normal breakpoints in your test code. That's because the test code doesn't run bundled. Is that making sense, Chris?
Absolutely.
All right. So then you can do your usual step over, etc. But we'd like to know why get deposit facet isn't working quite right. So I'm going to stop that. And if we want to debug in the contract, let's add a debugger statement. I suppose I could add it even at the top level, but let's put it at the start function, which is what I'm used to. Okay, so here's our debugger statement, and this is mostly the code from the contract, but the white space on the left side has been deleted.
Let me say a little bit about that. That is a bug that's in Babel, actually, that we're now again talking to one of the Babel principals about getting the bug fixed. And we're also examining switching our module transform from Babel to something else. Eventually we're going to, when we're targeting the XS platform, we'll be able to use compartments, in which case we won't need to transform the code with Babel. But right now, while we're transforming the code with Babel, yeah, lots of white space. That's the bug in question. So this is a known bug, and we're going to try to fix it. It is a tremendous cost in my experience on the debugging, on the developer experience. But the good news is that the mangling that Babel does here is horizontal white space. Line numbers are generally kept intact, so that if you have your original source on the side, and you want to look at what the corresponding source line is, you can find it easily because the line numbers correspond.
Right. So the debugger line 22 is the same line 22 over here.
Right. So yeah, doing exactly what you did there, which is lining them up so that, scrolling them together so that you can understand your code on the right panel while the debugger is interacting with the left panel.
Right.
Is a good workaround.
Okay, and if we wanted to find out what's going on in handle send, we can put a breakpoint there. I'm going to switch back over to the test maybe, and we'll set a breakpoint here too, and then resume. Okay, we hit our first test breakpoint. Then this is some test code that might be interesting. That was interesting. I tried to step in to pay or Pete and it went over here. So debugging async code has sometimes got challenges. I suppose promise all had hit a turn boundary. And so we hit this code before. I'm going to set a breakpoint because what I wanted to do was step into that. All right, so now we've got handle send, and we can step through some of the contract code. It's going to step over this whole promise all, seat exit, and then we can go over here and look at the payouts, for example. There's an atom payment with, oh, right. Payments are sort of opaque objects. When if you're want to know how much is in something, you need an amount. What else can we look at here? Seat is likewise just an object with methods. Okay, recipient is a normal data structure. We've got a lot of objects here that are not, oh, there should be a proposal. If we're in a offer handler, which are we? 59. Oh. Make send invitation. All right, no, we're so this offer handler doesn't do anything with the oh wait, if we go up the stack, where are we?
There's in handle offer method of, I don't know if that helps at all.
Okay, well, this contract is a little it's sort of not normal. It's just basically used to shuffle payments around. It doesn't do the normal look at the proposal, rearrange that, reallocate assets and stuff. So maybe this wasn't the best example to pick. But anyway, if you've got any records, you can look at them over here. Let's just see. Oh, so here's arguments is not very interesting. Oh, it's got a whole bunch of stuff. The with blocks for the. All right. So you can look at data structures over here, and you can step through your contract, and I resume. I guess the contract got invoked again. I didn't. Oh, it must be another test. Okay. So, Chris Bennett, can you tell me a few things that are interesting about debugging that I went over there?
Yeah, obviously the white space issue is something you'd want to keep a handle on.
That's definitely a one point, and the other one is to set a add a debugger statement to the starter of your contract to get things going.
So I forgot, this debugger is a JavaScript keyword or something for Zoe or Endo or
It's a
bundler?
JavaScript thing.
All right.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that this is how you actually were able to get into the contract. So this is really useful to know.
Yeah, I remember we actually did something like this before in the office hours again. So
All right.
I might have a few questions about it. So anyone got this to work in WebStorm? Non-VS Code environments?
WebStorm.
Question.
Did you end up opening a discussion or anything on that one? I can't remember.
I don't either.
Okay, because if you open a discussion, I can get it routed. There's at least one person who uses WebStorm, and I could route it to him. So that has been the state of the art for a while. Mark is in the business of pushing the state of the art. So are you ready to demo?